Hey!
Hey, how's it going?
I'm fine, thank you.
I'm trying to decide if I need sunglasses or not.
Well,
Let me get a more interesting backdrop because, like, depending on where you look around here,
all right.
like that way, you got the Statue of Liberty who's painted pink, but she has sort of like a zombie mask.
So, how are you First of all, where's your beer?
Oh yeah. So I'm drinking a hard kombucha.
Okay,
So it's 4.5% alcohol.
okay.
Kombucha. It says 0 sugar, 0 carbs. I don't know how that's possible. Have sugar and carbs, but
No, I prepared myself a little cocktail, but cheers. Mm,
and it's your birthday.
it is. It's
Birthday.
it's 15 on a mirror. So obviously 51.
You know who else has a birthday today?
No.
One of my favorite musicians in
Who?
the world, who's Anthony Kiedis, who's the lead singer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
All right, I've got some Red Hot Chili Pepper afterwards. Right, our things there.
Well, you know, it's like the calm before the storm today. I feel like. I think I have a lot of anxiety about this election. But
Okay.
it hasn't really gotten to me today. Maybe that's because I am cautiously confident that Joe Biden will win.
Okay.
But it's one of those horrors that's just too much to sort of grasp, like what it will be like to wake up in 2 days if like there's like a decisive victory for Donald Trump.
This podcast will be online. The results of the election will be already there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But I'm very curious, and so this is why I thought about talking to you as an American citizen about the election, I would say, because for us in Europe it's very difficult. I mean, I have a lot of American friends, and I always say, for God's sake, it's difficult when you end up with 2 candidates that have been proposed by a relatively small group of people, and you end up with 2 candidates, and you don't know whether they are the best candidates overall. And I followed a lot of documentaries about Biden, about Donald Trump, and from the European perspective, the image of Donald Trump is always a catastrophe, one thing after the other, and a lot of
clearly. That's because you're seeing clearly. It is a catastrophe.
Yeah, indeed.
Go on.
And I decided to put the American national anthem behind as a background, hoping for the best. But seriously, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if I was in your shoes, it's really, really difficult. Because like it was, for example, 4 years ago for Hillary Clinton, apparently the popular vote was for Hillary Clinton.
Yes, it was.
But let's say the so-called great electors decided for Trump. And that's probably the bad side of elections in the United States, isn't it?
The third time in my lifetime that the presidential election went to the non-majority.
Okay. I think like a lot of people think that Biden has been chosen as a candidate because he's a transition president waiting for somebody else in the Democratic Party.
Interesting question. I think he has said that he is probably going to be a one-term president. I think time has to tell. I think there's probably a good chance that he will be a one-term president because he's going to be so freaking old.
Yeah, both of them are old. So let's say let's close the election chapter
Yeah.
here. Talk about, have you got any? I mean, consider the pandemic situation. Are
Yeah.
you Are you working on something?
Sorry.
No, no, it's okay. Are you working on something when it comes when it comes about your work? Are
Like
you?
music?
Yes, obviously.
Yes, I am.
Okay, tell me something about it, if you can, of course.
I can. Yeah, I can. I have been working on a song, a track that I want to release that is a pretty new venture for me because it's electronic music.
Wow.
I've got this track. It's like it's a summary song. It's a love song.
Okay.
It's about a girl that you lost, you know,
Okay.
and but you want to get her back. And it takes place in the summertime, so it sort of has like summery vibes to it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. I put something on and I would like you to talk about your experience with this band. Hold on.
Okay. And then can I go? I'm gonna go grab a beer really
Yeah.
quickly. Actually, wow. While you put it on, I'll be right back.
Down goes the moon, up comes the light. Gotta put out that fire that started last night. Every time I think it's over, it starts all over again. Gonna take all my will just to push that rock back up the hill. Ain't no riches, ain't no fame, working in the darkness, every day it's the same. The light at the end of the tunnel is an oncoming runaway train.
So tell me a little bit about the Ghost Towns. This is my favorite track, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's the.
I love it. I mean, sometimes I put it on and I dance by myself in my apartment like crazy.
Nice.
I love it. Tell me about the band. Tell me, new projects, what are you doing?
When it comes to that track that you just played,
Yeah,
Push That Rock Up the Hill, the acoustic version.
yeah,
I just remember being in the studio. That was like one of those days when we were like looking for a sound. You know, we were like, but we were all kind of like focused on trying to find it in a way. And I mean, you might be like, what do you mean you're looking for sound? It's just a blues track, you know. But we were doing acoustics, so Blaze, his drummer, was playing cajon and then a little bit of percussion, and everybody else playing acoustic. And we track live, so we just had to get into a vibe. And I just remember it's like sometimes there's this subtle blues feel. There's so many blues feels that you can like just sort of categorize, go through and find artists who are good representations of this one, that one, that one, that one, that one. You know, but like sometimes you just find this like nice subtle, just kind of it's forceful, but it's subtle. You know what I mean? It's like understated, but it's got such a nice feel to it. I mean, I shouldn't be trying to be a critic of my own band because that's not the way you're supposed to do it. But thank you for playing that track. I had such a good time playing, especially like I remember tracking that. You know, it's one of those moments when you really are hearing the full sound as you're recording. Whereas oftentimes as a bass player, I might track,
yeah.
and subsequently they track other things on top of what I play.
Mm-hmm.
So I might not in the heat of the moment really always have such a firm feel for like what the entire piece is going to end up as.
Do you think, Bennett, when the situation will go back to normal, I like to say normal, not new normal, but normal. Do you think, would you consider touring in Europe as well?
I firmly plan on it. I mean, are you talking about specifically with Ghost Towns?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that there are absolutely desires to tour like globally. I think playing in Europe is always a pinnacle for me. It's
And-
always.
Yeah, and let's keep the fingers crossed that you can.
Oh my God. I love playing in Europe.
I know, which leads me.
There's a long tradition of that too. I just want to say this.
Yeah,
American musicians for many, many years have loved playing in Europe. Europe is like, Europeans really appreciate music in a way that a lot of Americans don't.
okay. Why so?
I don't really know why, except that I think that there's a little bit of I think that Americans take music for granted because it comes from our country.
Yeah,
You go to Europe to play because everywhere you go to play, people came to see you, so they're going to be like a receptive audience. So,
yeah,
but at the same time, there's a different quality of attention to what we were doing and interest in it. Like the great example with Tucker Travis and Miller is
which
typically
leads.
when we're playing out in one of these European cities. You know,
Yes.
And one of my favorite things to do in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like if I was worth $100 million and I had an opportunity to go bust with Elijah and Nick on an afternoon in Amsterdam, I would take it.
listen to this.
So
Listen to this.
what's that? Okay, here we go.
Every day I take a different walk. I think the same old thoughts about you. And I just tell myself to be a little stronger and just go a little longer. So I do. My friends tell me.
Sorry, guys, but this is a masterpiece. No, it is, Ben, and I have to say it is, because sometimes, and not because you are a musician, but also because you are a friend and you're, to me, a very deep human being. When I heard this song for the first time, and I had my eyes closed and with my earphones, and I was looking at the sunset, and it happened to be the right song at the right moment of my life, because this song, it could be a love song,
Yeah.
but it is a journey. It's a love song to yourself. It's about a journey, and to me is amazing. Correct me if I'm wrong. You wrote the song, did you?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, and to me is one of my favorite songs ever, really ever. And sometimes I find myself, I mean, I go to visit a friend, and I like to drive at night. I take my car and I drive at night, because driving at night has a special flavor to me. And I put the music on, and I play it again and again and again and again and again. And then I suddenly stop, and I stop the car somewhere to the side of a street, and just listen to the word. And it's definitely a journey. It's amazing. And Tucker Travis and Miller are a very small group. I mean, they are mainly known by people in the street rather than people listening to Spotify or iTunes or whatever.
That's right.
But the energy you get when seeing you guys playing in the street, it's amazing. It's energy. And I remember when you finally met and you were here in Cologne, and you haven't been playing for 1 year because Nick was in Thailand, you were in US, and Elijah was in Spain,
Brazil.
and you met in my apartment. Yeah.
Or wherever he was.
And you met in my apartment after 1 year to rehearse before of a concert. It took you 2 minutes to go back into that synergy, and it was, for me, it was amazing. Do you miss those guys? Do you miss busking?
Oh man, so much. You know, one of the things that's so great about that band, so great about playing with those guys, is the intimacy of the shows that we do. You know, I think the biggest show we ever gave was in Cascina, Bulgaria, because they put us on a big stage with like lights and mic'd everything up a lot. Other than that, it's like we go so stripped down, you know. So, but even that felt like a very intimate show.
Yeah.
It felt like a special moment.
Yeah.
There's
So
something about-
do you have
special moment.
sorry if I interrupt you. Do you have good memories of the two shows or the three shows you played Cascina Bellaria? Because you remember in Sezzadio, the first time I saw you, you had this huge stage with a lot of people dancing, and then you had a more intimate show. How do you remember that place? Because this podcast is also done in cooperation with Cascina Bellaria. Do you have some memories that you would like to share of that place?
You know what I have? I still have some little tokens that I'm going to use at the bar when I go back there. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I love that place. It's such a cool vibe. It's like, to me, I like have weird aspirations to do something like they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I like this bar, right?
Yeah.
It's like a bar where I can do music, but like what I really want to do is have a farm and throw music festivals. Like they're onto something. That's it. That's like life.
Yeah.
The festivals, music festivals, people hanging out, making new friends, the intimacy that ensues. It's lovely. It's totally lovely. I'd go back in a heartbeat.
We're almost at the end of this interview, and I wanted to play one song by, you mentioned Red Hot Chili Peppers, and that's my favorite song. Let's see. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
And it's one of those songs, another songs that I dance by myself. It's like it has a rhythm. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Well, I don't mean to brag here, but
Okay.
I don't know if you know this, Frida, but like I did it's now lighting up like more of my I did a Red Hot Chili Peppers tribute show.
Really?
In New York City
Wow. When was that?
in 2018, probably.
Okay.
It was funny. It was almost like an audition because this place, Cafe Wa, which like everybody and their dog played there too. Like Bob Dylan, Bruce Springsteen, Van Halen. I mean, everybody played there when they were coming up and has come back and visited. So I was trying to get into the house band, and they were like, "Well, we do tribute shows sometimes. You want to do a tribute show to like show what you can do?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's do a Chili Peppers tribute show," which was like a lot to bite off. You know what I mean? But I
Yeah.
called a few friends. We pulled together, but I basically played the role of Flea, and I sang on a lot of songs.
Wow.
I played bass and sang live on that track,
Really?
which took me so fucking long to figure out.
And when you do covers, because there is a lot of cliche about making covers of other artists, do you think that making a cover is an act of love towards the artist you like, or is a simple copy paste of something, of somebody else's work?
Well, I mean, obviously depends on the incident.
Okay.
Like, attitude and approach towards covering music, I think, is important. You know?
Okay.
Like, and then-
But at the end of the day, Bennett, it's always a matter of sharing, whether it's your own work or is the work of somebody else that has inspired other people. It's music is about sharing. It
really is.
it is.
It's about the love of sharing.
Bennett, we came to the end of this interview. And you know, I've got time time pressure. Time pressure. But it was nice. It was very nice to catch up with you. I wish you, first of all, a lot of health, lots of love in your life that I'm sure you have, but I wish you more.
Same to you.
Thank you. I need it because believe me, I open a bracket and I close a bracket. Being single in a pandemic, it's a disaster. But let's close the chapter. But I really hope that you can very soon, first of all, be on stage. Second of all, release that project of yours very soon, because I want to listen. And hopefully see you very soon in Europe with whatever band you will be, because I think your work has to be shared everywhere.
You know, I have to say, Frida, I really appreciate you in so many ways. And, you know, when I talk positively about the European people as a whole, like,
Yeah.
my impression of them is being skewed greatly to the positive because you are a member of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know what would exist for Tucker Travis Miller if you hadn't, like, you know, been willing to be an advocate for us to help us get shows in Europe, and that had, like, the consequence in my life of now having so many incredible memories, you know what I mean, that I couldn't stand to not do it again, first of all. But also, you know, like, there have been many, many moments when you have been very, very encouraging of all of our artistic expression, and those words echo.
The best. Plenty of kisses. Keep safe, and we'll be in touch very soon again.
Lovely.
You're always in my heart. Don't forget.
I won't. Thank you so much. You're always in my heart as well, Frida.
Okay.
You have a wonderful rest of your evening.
Bye bye. Ciao.